Main Street. Tax Wall Street, not Main Street.
The CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, estimated that if this were applied, this is already in existence in Europe, in the European Union, and they estimate if it were in place here, it would be enough to fill the budget gap that's been utilized by the Republicans to destroy all of the social safety net programs and other things that are hurting Main Street so much. So we would really like him to endorse this as a congressman.
Tax Wall Street, not Main Street. Tax Wall Street, not Main Street. Tax Wall Street, not Main Street. Tax Wall Street.
Thank you so much for coming. This is a wonderful event. It's happening everywhere. This is not the only event that's happening across the United States. Our September 1st Day of Action. So I really appreciate all the labor coalitions that have come today to represent Fresno's community.
We need financial reform, we need budget reform. The cost of gasoline, up to 50% of that is caused by speculators. A third of the cost of food is caused by speculators. People have turned our economy into a casino. They are gambling on our futures, and we're paying with our lives and with our health. It's time to turn that around. We're not here to criticize Congressman Costa. We're here to call on him to do the right thing. We would go call on McCarthy or some other person, and we know what we would get. The slam door. Well, we're tired of the Democrats and other folks taking it easy, hanging back. We're ready for some aggressive behavior. We're ready for people to stand up for what's right, to not be fearful of fighting for the right cause. And Communities for New California, with support from CNA, we are going door to door throughout our neighborhoods in Central, South, and West Fresno, the rural communities. You helped us. We just did a month-long voter registration campaign in Fresno County, Tulare, and Kern County. We registered in Fresno County alone more than 1,000 new voters. We're going out again in October and November. We're going to get to that body of people who need to go to the polls to fix this problem. I think the solution being proposed is a great solution. We have to tax or place a fee on financial transactions. That's the casino. That's where they're just making money hand over fist, taking it right out of the pockets of the people who need it the most, and they're not putting it back into any economy except their personal economy. So thank you again very much for this effort, and kudos to PDA and everybody who came out today to support this effort. We're with you, and let's keep going. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Judy Hess from the Progressive Democrats of America.
Let's beat Wall Street at its own game. Let's save Main Street and our working families by letting Wall Street do what it does best, trade. Our wonderful nurses here have made a Main Street contract. The other speakers will tell you more. But it's about jobs, pay, health, healing. It levies a small tax on Wall Street transactions, just 0.25% for each transaction, and can yield an estimated $150 to $150 billion, that's with a B, per year. That's a lot of jobs, a lot of health care, a lot of healing. That's a lot of Main Street recovery. We must recapture Main Street. We must recreate our financial protections. We must ask Jim Costa and all his fellow representatives to stand with us, and we will ask as many times as it takes to make the Main Street contract happen. Thank you, nurses, and thank you all.
We fight for education, we shall not be moved. We fight for education, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's standing by the water, we shall not be moved. We're fighting corporations, we shall not be moved. We're fighting corporations, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for our seniors, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for our seniors, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's standing by the water, we shall not be moved. Join me. We're fighting for our workers, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for our workers, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. My name is Randy Ghan, and I'm Secretary-Treasurer of the Fresno, Madera, Tulare Kings Central Labor Council. The 4 counties in our Central Valley, representing working people, representing 68,000 families. I stand with the nurses today. What a fine job they've done of bringing attention out here to Main Street, Fresno, if you will, across the street from Jim Costa, to let our congressman know that it's time that he get on board with the notion that we need to tax Wall Street. You know, folks, our working families are hurting. Many of our folks are out of work. Many of our folks have lost their homes. Many of our folks have lost their health care. They're having trouble getting their kids to school. They want a better life. This is not what they felt they were promised in America. And why did this happen? Because the Wall Street tycoons made it happen. They didn't care about working America. They didn't care about the working families in our community, certainly, when they got on board and concocted this subprime mortgage effort that put people unable to pay for their mortgages and lose their homes. The foreclosure rates in our community are atrocious. This is nonsense. We ought to have it better. Working people deserve better. And we're here today to talk about that. We're here today to say, Congressman Costa, get on board with us. Make an effort to change that by considering and getting on board with this tax on Wall Street, this transaction tax. Sounds like a good idea to me, because it certainly brings about, as the last sister said, billions of dollars in which we can give back into social services and make things better for people that right now are just trying to look for a better way, trying to get this economy churning again so that working people can have it better, so they can get a home back, they can afford a mortgage, they can send their kids to school comfortably, they can get good health care, and they can hopefully work well and get a good pension. That's what we want in America. We just want a fair shake. And if we go out and work hard and do our part and abide by the rules, we deserve a fair shake. And Wall Street hasn't allowed us a fair shake in a very long time. So brothers and sisters, the 68,000 members of our Labor Council, I know, are on board with this. They're on board with CNA and the other groups here today to say, enough's enough. Let's get on board. Let's tax Wall Street on these transactions. Let's get money, and let's support working people. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Okay. I want to thank every one of you for coming out. I appreciate this so much. It means so much to us, and let's get out there and continue the fight. What we are going to do today is all the food that we have over here, we are going to take over there to the tent city. It's a very large area, and we're dropping the food off to those people so that they have something to eat today. Okay, so thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of the local coalitions that came out. We can't do this alone. You are all so necessary to us. So thank you so much, and keep up the fight, and remember the Wall Street financial transaction tax. Okay? Let's keep the pressure on. Thank you so much.